Hello everyone. Welcome to Stats Skill Hub. I'm Dr. Asha Jindal. Hope you ever wondered how businesses predict next year's sales or how economists forecast inflation. The secret lies in something called a time series. In this video, we will break down exactly what a time series is, why it matters, and the four hidden forces that shape every time series you will ever come across. Let's get into it. Production, sales, and profit are some of the core goals of any private business. But to hit those goals, management can't just react, they have to plan ahead. That means making forecasts and prediction about the future. And here is the catch: valid forecasts are only possible once management deeply understands how different conditions affect their business. Much of that understanding comes from one simple habit: observing the past. That's exactly where time series analysis comes in. So, what exactly is it? Is simply a time series is the arrangement of statistical data in chronological order, that is, in the order it occurred over time. This series play a vital role in economics and business statistics. Think about it: profits and sales of departmental store, bank deposits and clearings, money in circulation, production figures, even population data. All of these are studied as time series because tracking them over time reveals patterns we had otherwise missed. Every time series depicts a relationship between two variables. One is always time and other whatever variable we are studying: population, productions, sales, you name it. When you plot the values of variable against time, we don't get a straight lines. We get a series of ups and downs. And here's the key insight: these fluctuations aren't caused by one single force, they are the result of a multiplicity of forces pulling the data ups and down at the same time. If those forces were perfectly balanced, the series would just stay constant. But in real world, that rarely are. So, what are these forces? Statisticians classify them into four broad categories: secular trend or long term trend, seasonal variations or short term within a year, cyclical variations, longer swings over a year, irregular or random movements, the unpredictable wild card. Let's go through each one of them. The secular trend, often just called trend, represents the long term growth or decline in a time series over an extended period. Now, here's something interesting: long period does not have a one fixed definition. It is relative to what you are studying. For a study of vectorial growth, a reading every 5 minutes might already count as a long period. But for tracking wheat production, even 2 years of monthly data would not be considered long enough. Trends can move in three directions. An upward trend shows up in things like population growth, agricultural production, bank deposits, and consumers' goods prices. A downward trend appears forest reservoirs, epidemics, mortality rates, or the value of currency. And sometimes a trend is essentially constant. Think of the temperature of a controlled environment fluctuating around a steady average. Seasonal variations are periodic, regular movement in time series within a period of less than 1 year. The defining feature: the pattern repeats itself year after year. These variations come from two sources. First, natural forces. For example, the production of sugars, umbrella, cold drinks depends directly on the season. Second, man made conventions like how departmental store sales spike during marriages and festivals. Neither of them are random, they are predictable patterns. Cyclical variations are oscillatory movements with a period longer than 1 year. One complete ups and down cycle is what economics call a trade cycle. Business cycles typically move through four phases: prosperity, decline, depression, recovery. Then the cycle repeats. Unlike seasonal variations, cyclical swings don't follow fixed predictable calendar. They can stretch over several years. The last force is the irregular, random or residual fluctuations, sometimes called an episodic fluctuations. These are purely random, erratic, and unforeseen. They come from events like earthquakes, wars, floods, epidemics, strikes, revolutions, factors completely beyond human control. Sometimes these events barely move the data. Other times they cause massive, significant shifts. Either way, they are the one force we can never fully predict. Now that we know the four components trend, seasonal, cyclical, and random, how do we combine them into an actual forecast? There are two classic models. An additive model states the time series as simple sum of all four components, where y suffix t equals to capital T suffix small t plus s suffix small t plus c suffix small t plus capital R suffix small t. This model assumes each force act independently with the equal absolute effects of regardless of the trained values. Creative model instead treats the series as the product of all four components. Here the components are not necessarily independent. They can affect one another, fluctuating proportionally above or below a baseline of 1. Here is a neat trick. By taking the logarithm on both sides, the multiplicative model transforms into additive model. Log y is equal to log t plus log s plus log c plus log r, which you can rewrite as y dash is equal to t dash plus s dash plus c dash plus r dash, where y dash is log y, t dash is log t, s dash is log s, c dash is log c, r dash is log r, making the math for easier to work with and letting you convert back to original series just by taking the anti-log. So to recap, a time series is data arranged in chronological order, shaped by four forces: trend, seasonal variations, cyclical variations, and random fluctuations. And we can model their combined effect using either the additive or multiplicative model. If this helped clarify time series for you, hit like, subscribe for more statistics breakdowns, and drop a comment if you had like a follow-up video on how to actually calculate the trend component using moving averages. See you in the next one. Thank you. Happy learning.